So sorry about the delay, everyone, but we will get started as soon as we hear back from them. If they don't show up in another 2 minutes or so, we will just kind of press on. Did everybody have a good week?
Yeah.
Any exciting stories anyone wants to share?
All mine are non-Twitch appropriate.
Well, this is set to mature audiences, so
Drugs.
they waive their consent. Yeah, as long as you're not admitting to a felony or some kind of unlawful act, I'm sure it'll be okay. Things have been great for me this week. It's been super busy, but just started up with my new company, so super happy that I am a salary employee now.
Oh, you changed jobs?
Uh, the company changed, but the job stayed the same. I work for government contracting, and somebody else won the bid.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
How long ago?
Um, the bidding process took over like 2 years, and there were some legal arguments, but it finally finalized, and I started last Monday with the new company, which is great for me because it definitely bumped me up a good chunk of salary, so I'm happy with that.
Very nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
started a new job a couple weeks ago.
Nice, congrats. I was I being in IT for the
So,
military for so long, it's always been nice to be able to land an IT job right as soon as I got out. I got lucky with being able to work with somebody who had a spot for me, and then just over time, I set my expectations low as far as what I think my entry level and skill level would permit for pay. But as time has gone on now, and I feel like I have a good gist of everything, I actually am now just kind of shooting for the moon when I request pay.
Whoa.
What's up?
Oh, I'm just looking at D&D Beyond, and they're definitely making some updates.
Are they? That's cool.
In the inventory, you now have two separate inventories. You have a backpack inventory and an equipment inventory, so you can
That
keep
is
track
very
of what you're
cool.
wearing and
Yeah,
what's in your backpack.
that's very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, when I usually play a character, usually what I'll do is, because you know how the equipment tab is listed below your character sheet, and I'll just start unchecking everything that I know is in my backpack, because that also reduces the amount of weight that you have and stuff like that. Where are
Yeah.
these guys?
And
Oh
I
no.
wonder, dude, I wonder if it will add a section if you add a bag of holding. That would be so awesome. I'm gonna check it
Yeah,
real
try
quick.
that. Try that.
It
That's
does. It adds a section if
wow.
you throw in a bag of holding. That's so fucking cool.
Way to go, D&D
Oh my
Beyond.
god. And that way you can keep track of like because it can hold 500 pounds of weight. And
Mhm.
there was so many times where it would say like you're currently encumbered because you just throw everything under equipment, but it wouldn't account for the fact that most of it was in your bag
That
of
is really
holding.
cool.
That nice work, D Beyond.
I really got to start. It's tough because I put a lot of money into Roll20, and I like the idea of having stuff on D&D Beyond. I just don't want to repay for the books again that I've already paid for, and I don't want
Right.
to
Yep.
hand jam everything in.
I um I well, I guess being the DM it's a lot harder, but I do pay for the master tier or whatever, so if you ever like want to access anything in D&D Beyond, you can totally join a game and you can just browse my stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That is pretty awesome. Well, they're not here. Don't know where they're at. So we are gonna kick off. Hopefully they show up.
Don't know how to remove the bag of holding though.
It's just
It's in
permanent.
my inventory and now I can't remove it.
Look, that's coming soon, okay?
Yeah.
Right? There
that's
is
You
no
that's on
you
the
can put it
next
in,
update.
there
then it
is no
opens the
logout
tab.
button on Sword Art Online.
Oh shit, yep. Exactly. God, that was a good show.
That was a great show. I actually haven't caught up to all of it.
Oh yeah.
Alicization, if you haven't started watching that, watch it.
No, I watched the first 2 seasons,
Yeah,
but I haven't watched the
there,
whole of the
there's,
last one yet.
yeah. Watch Alicization if you haven't seen any of it yet. It's so good. It continues on after I think Gun Gale Online and all that nonsense. So, pretty awesome. Anyway, so the last we left off, the group of you had been tasked with protecting some cargo for Sudhir Enterprises, a well-known manufacturing company within the city of Waterdeep. You had traveled all the way to Mirabar to meet up with the dwarven company in charge of shipping all of the materials south, down the long road to Waterdeep. It has been reported that the caravans were frequently being attacked by a mysterious group known as the Crimson Five. Your job was to try to figure out how to prevent these attacks and reestablish trade, especially because it has been quite some time since a full shipment of cargo has made its destination appropriately. Spending a number of days along the road traveling with this small caravan, you felt quite confident in your abilities, having discussed some ins and outs of what you would do if you ever were to get ambushed. And then the day struck. About midday or so, on a clear skied afternoon, all the carts simultaneously seemed to have been struck on its side. Multiple wheels and axles had snapped and broken, causing a lot of damage to the carts. A lot of chaos and confusion ensued as you eventually found yourself surrounded by a large number of individuals who you recognized as the same individuals who attempted to steal your horses maybe about a week or so ago. Not feeling so threatened until a familiar face showed up, standing up on the top of the ridge. A tiefling monk named Levi attempted to address the group of you, attempting to strike up a conversation and to politely, as best he could, tell you to just leave the cargo and just spare your lives. A counteroffer was proposed as Eva cast Hypnotic Pattern on the group, and unfortunately it kind of incited a little bit of anger in both Levi and his companions. A fight ensued, and as the intensity of combat was starting to rise, Tizio was grabbed by what seemed to be some kind of magical lasso of like lightning and was yanked up towards the top of the peak, where he was then struck down and fell to the ground. So, as you all kind of stand there watching this happen, and you see this green-skinned individual looking down onto the unconscious body of Tizio, you all hear a massive explosion in the distance. And you watch as the group of them kind of all turn their backs towards the open hillside behind. And then they look towards the group of you, a bit of anger and frustration in their face. And Levi speaks up and he says, "Ah, well, if it isn't one problem after another. Should we resume? Or I'd prefer to go take care of some other things at the moment."
Oh, you're free to go whenever you like. We're just gonna take the shipment with us.
Yes, you've proven quite admirable in your desire to protect such petty things. The problem is, though, I don't really think you even know what you're carrying. Have you even bothered to check?
You never look in the box.
Hey man, as long as we're not like carrying orphans or anything, I feel like
Oh, if it's kids, I'm gonna be pissed off.
we're being paid to keep quiet, or not even know it is. We're not carrying orphans, are we? And I'll look back to the group.
No.
At this moment, you watch as the taller goblinoid-looking figure kind of kneels down and stabs something into the side of Tizio. Well, as Levi kind of looks around the group there, it's not so much of a loss for one shipment, but know this. Those you think you're helping for some righteous cause is really not so. If you wish to know more, just travel south of Yartar about a day or so. Come find us there. Be seeing you. And you watch as they leave Tizio's unconscious body and start walking away slowly. You guys do anything?
Slap a healing word on Tizio first thing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for it. Okay, yep. Tizio, you...
Tizio, heal 7.
So you were actually at 8. But you can feel your mind come back to consciousness now. And you watch as slowly...
Wait, was I got the 8 because of, where did I get 8? Sorry.
You don't know.
I think that goblin guy stabbed you with something helpful, but David didn't know that.
Okay, no, because I was going to say, if I was aware of that, like, I had woken up for that.
Yes, you would have woken up briefly as you had seen just this cloaked individual who has the same gauntleted hand as you slowly start to rise up from their knee and just pocket something and just slowly start walking away. You can hear...
I... Oh,
Mhm. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I try to, like, they have like a satchel on him or anything like that?
Make a perception
Levi...
check at disadvantage.
Well, would have been at disadvantage if I was fighting them earlier, up close.
You just woke up from consciousness. Yeah, at this moment, you're just kind of like the shock of air just kind of fills your lungs as you wake from consciousness, and your vision's slightly blurred and you can't really make out too fine a detail, even though you are so close. But yeah, that's rough. But nevertheless, you watch as they slowly start walking towards the backside of this ridge, and just casually begin walking. About 30 or seconds or so into them just walking away, you watch as shadows begin to engulf each of them, almost like a black fire that slowly begins to creep up from the ground underneath, and it encompasses their bodies and they vanish.
Well, I
I'm
don't feel
assuming
like we
Ellis
solved
scared
that
them off?
problem.
Say again?
Tizio was saying, I'm assuming Ellis scared them off?
Hey man, you know it. Frog Boy's got the claws. Well, I used to anyway. The claws will shrink back into my arms. Yeah.
Sewer rats.
This doesn't really seem resolved.
What do you mean? They walk away. Now we can take it back.
I mean, they said one shipment was a loss. I don't think we're gonna. This is a permanent solution.
Well, given how dedicated they seemed to the battle before, it probably means we're not transporting orphans.
All I'm saying is, I think we were hired to solve the problem, not protect this one shipment.
True.
And we didn't really solve the
Good
problem.
point. That's a good point.
The shipment was just a way to lure them to us.
Do we follow them then? Let's follow them.
They look pretty gone to me. Although they did tell us where to find them.
Yeah, we just go meet with them.
You can see now that Horsuck is in the process of doing the best he can to kind of assess his crew and the four humanoids people who were driving the caravans, as they are all currently just kind of like cowering in fear and just scared for their lives. Um, you watch as there's a brief argument between Horsuk and one of the individuals that you guys recall as Jameson. And he just kind of like backhands him a little bit to try to shake him to his senses, and he says, "Snap it together already. We ain't got time for this shit. We need to repair the carts." And you watch as he starts pulling out a couple, what appears to be like some spare wagon wheels and some kind of repair kit. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna go lay down over here for a bit.
Ellis is gonna go down to the unconscious guy that he threw off the cliff,
Okay.
and he's gonna see if he can wake him up.
Make a medicine check.
Okay. Medicine is a +2, I believe. Yeah.
You take a look at him, and you can see that the way he was thrown onto that half-dwarf looking female, as she kind of like attempted to dodge and failed, the weight of him kind of like slammed, and he kind of landed head first onto the ground, and you see that there's a bit of blood down the side of his head. But he appears to be unconscious still.
Hey, can anyone wake this dude up?
Need him for something?
Well, I don't want to be like a murderer or anything, so if he doesn't have to die, we could just like let him run.
Oh, Pelarian's not here. Pelarian would
Perry-
probably lay on hands him.
I said Perry can just stabilize him.
Certainly, yeah. It take a few minutes, but you can certainly stabilize him. His labored breathing now seems to have steadied a bit, but still unconscious, unfortunately. It'll take some time, but you know that he'll eventually wake up.
He'll live, Ellis.
Say again?
He'll live.
Ava's gonna go to the nearest cart and peek inside.
Okay. You kind of wrap around because you see that Horsa kind of ran off towards the back to speak to Jameson, and you have the one rider up at the front who's just kind of still sitting there in a bit of shock, just as if his life was flashing before his eyes. And you peer into the back of the cart, and what you see appears to be several large wooden crates. They each have what appears to be like a small silver lock on them. Rather sturdy, but I mean, you don't see any like. What are you looking for specifically?
Okay, if it's all locked in crates, she's probably gonna look at Jameson and say, "Look, we're in this, right? My friend almost died up there, and we're gonna get paid, but I sure would like to know what's in these crates. Do you know?"
Jameson kind of like, as he's in the process of like trying to help Horsuk pull out equipment to start repairing the carts that are now like completely like tilted onto their side because they've fallen over to some degree. And the horses have been startled up a bit, but he watches, he stops, and he kind of looks over towards you and he says, I'm not the one who packs them. None of us are. I mean, we don't even have the key to this thing. It's part of the agreement.
I assume you won't mind if I try to look.
I didn't see nothing.
Never look in the box.
I'm gonna look in the box. I'm gonna try and pick the lock and look in the box.
Go ahead and make a check with your thieves' tools.
I'm going to enhance ability myself to give me advantage on picking it. Well, first. Does it look like a tricky lock, or does it look like just some lock?
Make an investigation check.
I'm going to fail the investigation check to determine if I'm going to fail the other check. Yup.
You're not entirely sure. You've spent some time in your past understanding that certain locks have um, a little more security than others, and you at a quick glance can tell whether something's generally easy or might cause a little bit more of a hassle. And this one seems to be a little troublesome.
Yeah, alright, screw spell slots. I'm gonna cast Enhanced Ability so I have advantage.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say I can have some nice bonuses to pick locks now as well if you want me to take care of it.
We'll see. Yep, that's gonna be you.
Yeah, you try to pick up this small. It's almost a fine silver actually. This lock, and you see that as you kind of peer into the tumblers, you start working with your lock picking set. It just the tumblers don't seem to fall in place correctly. You're almost worried that you might snap something if you push too hard. You kind of pull back and say, "Ugh."
Tizio, I know you're barely conscious, but when you're fine, can you come pick this lock?
Yeah, I'll get there. It's in dexterity, correct?
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna use my spell slot, and she's just gonna start juggling.
Oh,
You're gonna start juggling.
Well, I have advantage on dex checks for a while, so I'm just gonna do something with it. I'm
Sure.
gonna juggle.
Make a performance check.
Wait, that's charisma. I don't even have advantage on that. Sleight of hand. We want sleight of hand. Okay, yeah, no, I'm juggling real well.
you what are you trying to sleight of hand?
Can you use sleight of hand to juggle? I'm not trying to juggle in an entertaining way. I'm just trying to catch everything.
Sure. You juggle in such a way that people think you're juggling, but really you're just kind of like lifting your arms up fast enough but you're still holding the whatever you're juggling. Sure, it'll be fine.
It'll actually be so it'll be 24, but I
Yeah.
also have the infusion item that I did for Gloves of Thievery, so it doesn't look like it adds it to it, but it'll be 29.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you walk over towards the back of the cart and just kind of like rub some of the dirt that might have fallen on your face out of your eyes a little bit. And you reach for your set of thieves tools and without issue you manage to quickly find the correct placement of these tumblers, and you feel the lock kind of pop open. You remove it. Do you open the box?
Yeah, I'll try to check for traps. If something isn't going to trigger a seal that this has been opened and stuff like that.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'm there too, so I'll help him look.
Sure.
Am I able? Does the thieves tool help me out with that, or take
Nope.
tools, or no?
This would be straight D20 plus your investigation skill. 14. Okay. Doesn't appear to be
Can
trapped.
I was gonna use my guidance as well, but it's fine.
You take a look at the seams of this wooden crate. Doesn't appear to be trapped or anything.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a peek at them.
Okay, yeah, you open it up, and what you find inside is the stench of sulfur immediately hits your nose. You and Eva both kind of recoil a bit as the powdery substance kind of like starts to fill up into the air as the gentle breeze kind of wafts across. And you kind of stand back for a moment, wait for the air to settle a little bit, and you look back inside, and what you see is this entire crate is lined with some kind of thick burlap or hide on the inside, and this crate it's about a, I don't know, 2x4 size crate, and it is just filled with what you immediately recognize as smoke powder.
Is that something we would know would be normal that they use for any of their manufacturing or anything like that?
I mean, you specifically know that Sedutor Enterprises is known for its refining and manufacturing of smoke powder. This, you kind of take a look at this material, and it's not refined. It's still a raw substance, but you know that this material, while still highly flammable, can be refined into smoke powder.
What is it, Tizio?
Looks like it's. You said it's sulfur.
It's a very sulfuric smell to it. It's almost like taking a big whiff of too much, like, you know, powder or pepper, and you're almost about to sneeze at times, but then at the same time it kind of stings in the nose.
I'll go ahead and just kind of open it up a bit more, and so she can see. And looks like it's some sort of flammable powder.
It's a weapon. It's not orphans. We knew it was weapons.
Can I take a look around the other boxes if there's like any sort of like hidden markings or anything like that? Like they were going after specific ones.
Interesting. This would be another investigation check. What are the rest of you guys doing while Tizio's just kind of rummaging through the back of this cart? You can see.
I am helping lift the broken cart so that they can put the wheel under it.
Fantastic, yes, and it is greatly appreciated because you watch as they're trying the best they can to like prop it up, and they were, two of them were in the process of working with Horseduck to set up some kind of like pulley system to, you know, try to lift the cart up as best you can. You just kind of walk over, just start lifting, and they're like, "Oh, that definitely saves us a bit of time. Thank you."
Hey, it's your boy. You guys, you like driving these long road trips?
One of the human males that's there, just a little bit younger than you actually, with like a dark suntan skin, almost as if he's been out on the road quite a bit. His weathered, leathery hands seem to just kind of crack in the dry sun. He just kind of looks over to you. He says, "Well, I mean, it pays what it pays, but you know, I'm not about to risk my life for just carrying some crap around. It's maybe it's time for me to start looking for some other work."
Yeah, I never really understood the appeal of carrying around precious cargo just to have a target on your back. It's all, I don't know, funky business, you know, but hey, if you want to, I always feel like trying the other side is really fun. So if you want to like abandon your life as a carry and go and rob some other people's cargo, great change of scenery.
He chuckles a little bit at the thought, and then he thinks about it momentarily, and then he looks over into the distance where the four individuals that are now laying slain on the ground, and then the other two that are unconscious, and he kind of goes, "Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm alive. I'm not them. I think I'm
You're
okay."
absolutely right. You're not. You know, sometimes boring's good. Not for me, though. If I don't get some blood in, like the day I'm like, I get real antsy.
Right. I'm just hold the cart, and he starts just like quickly trying to repair the wagon wheels. It's going to take you guys some time to do that, but Tizio, you kind of look around inside the boxes, around the edges of the crates. You don't see any kind of like hidden markings or symbols. The crates are pretty nondescript. There's nothing in these crates that has like a Waterdeep crest or the City or Enterprise crest. It's interesting that these carts are just, they know that it's these carts. Very nice.
Would I have been could I like roll to try to discern how they transported away at all?
Make an Arcana check. Or no, yeah, sure. Uh, you've never seen someone engulfed in. It didn't look like fire. You're familiar with flame. It the best you could describe it was some kind of like a black flame, but it didn't. As you kind of like walk around the space where they were walking, there's no singe marks. There's nothing to discern that anything was out of place there. It just feels like as you guys are watching them disappear, essentially, each of them slowly in turn, it was almost as if their shadow slowly started to coalesce around them before they vanished.
Cool.
It was pretty wicked. But Tizio, is there anything else you're looking for in the cards, or? I don't know if you made it.
You said they're the uh, like all the crates and stuff like that. They look the same.
I mean, they all have similar shapes. Some of them are a little longer. Some of them are a little deeper. I mean, you only open up the one. You don't really know what's in the other contents.
I'm gonna ask the driver guy. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now, but when they've taken things, were they big boxes, little boxes, the longer boxes, like?
You're asking like Horsuck, the Dwarven
Yes.
guy in charge? I see. He stops for a moment as he's in the middle of like what he appears to be like trying to like tie up some rope or something from a wheel to an axle, and he kind of looks over to you and he says, "Most of the time we end up unconscious in these situations, but when we wake up, almost all the cargo is gone. I've never seen them be too picky about what they take. But we don't really know what's in them, so I don't know if there's anything special about them."
I'll go ahead and go back in and check another, but I also want to see if there's any hidden compartments in the, I guess in the in there to see if maybe a set of instructions. Maybe there's hidden jewelry or something like that that they use to sell.
Well, go ahead and make another dexterity check to open up another box.
And then it'll be 28. Yeah, 28.
Yeah, so easily enough, you just start going through and picking open a couple of these locks, and box after box, as you open them, there's a couple boxes with what appears to be long pieces of steel, copper, brass. One small crate has maybe a couple gold bars in it, but the majority of these boxes contain unrefined smoke powder. Like, I would say 3/4 of these boxes, if you start going through them all, are smoke powder.
Sorry.
Hey, who
Ready?
the hell farted in there? I can smell it from out here.
Yeah. Tell him, please, no fireballs.
No promises.
I'll go ahead and seal everything back and take a look to see. Actually, can I run my fingers through, like, I guess, like, my hands, if there's anything hidden inside these powders?
Yeah, you kind of run your hands through this sulfur, and it's coating your hands completely black, but you kind of like feel through the best you can. No check required really. It doesn't you don't feel any kind of like hidden compartments or anything. That the bottom feels as deep as the box looks. It's just it it strikes you odd because you recall being told that it was precious ores that were supposed to be transported.
Seems somebody has been lying to us a bit.
Wait, what else is in there? This whole time, Ava's been like tumbling because she's full of dexterous energy, so she's just been doing somersaults and shit.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Is there something other than that powder stuff?
No, but that's kind of the point, right? Weren't we told we were transporting iron and stuff to make weapons?
She shrugs. One weapon's just same as another to me. Does it make a big difference? Is it illegal or something?
Make you guys can either make make history checks, the two of you. Okay, yeah. Talum, you've read about smoke powder. You're aware of it. You and Eva, you've seen it before, not in this quality. It doesn't look the same as what you recall from someone else who's been, using it back home to like load cannons or prepare weapons that you've seen. Um, Talum, I would say, yeah, you know that this material seems to be unrefined smoke powder. You're not really sure the process of how to refine it, but you know that it can be applied to making um, rifles, guns. It can be used as like some kind of like fireworks properties that have been a recent development lately. Um, you just are aware that it is a highly flammable substance that can create some kind of combustion.
Remember back in that alley with that elf killer fellow?
Is that the guy that Perry landed on?
Maybe? I don't recall.
That was a good
But-
moment.
Yeah. Sure.
With that history check, you definitely recall.
Okay, I recall that specifically. But this is the kind of stuff that works with those kind of weapons, and if I recall, the City Watch collected those weapons pretty swiftly. So, while the substance isn't illegal, it definitely has uses that Waterdeep isn't too fond of.
Perhaps he's funding some sort of criminal underground or trying to set up his own army.
I mean, I believe the plan was to sell it for the war, and they're fighting a war. They need a weapon. Or I don't know if I'm in favor of them winning.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Selling to the higher bidder, I guess. If he's stealing it for himself, I guess maybe.
No,
Sounds like a lot of hearsay.
I don't think he's stealing from himself. The other people want to steal it to use, and Dwarf Man back at the city wants to sell it to the trading partners of Waterdeep.
Well, they did play the "we're secretly the good guys" card pretty hard. It's at least possible that they're trying to steal it, not to use it, but to keep someone else from using it.
Or to use it for some sort of noble mission.
Maybe
Hey guys, I know this is gonna sound crazy, weird input, but what if instead of solving this problem, we just end the war, and then they don't need the weapons?
that seems harder.
How do you propose that, Ellis?
Wait, which
Well-
war?
Who's gonna pay us for that?
I don't know who the war's between, but it's almost a proven fact, especially on the streets. If you get the two leaders of the nations, and you get them to wrestle each other until one of them gives up, the war's over.
Okay, well, the only war I know about right now is wizards versus dragons. So I'm not sure the wizards would agree to wrestling match with the dragons.
I don't know, man. From what I've seen from Talon, wizards are pretty damn strong. You take the strongest dragon versus the strongest wizard and battle it out. And whoever wins takes the crown.
And Alice already wrestled that dragon, basically, so.
Okay.
These are the best ideas.
Anyway, we might want to check out that place that guy was talking about. I don't know if I believe him, but I don't know. If we're taking this back, it doesn't hurt to go see, right? If we don't go talk to them, then we're just gonna have to do this again.
Seems like that would be prudent. I assume we have to check back into Waterdeep first, though. Make sure this gets there. Otherwise, we'll have our own troubles.
We postpone ending the war then for another time.
Okay. So it'll take a couple hours of kind of sitting here to repair all the carts and get everything up and operational. Thankfully, there was enough material brought to repair the carts. You get the sense that with them being hit so many times in the past, they've had to do extensive damage control on carts in the before. But within a couple hours or so, I mean, you are ready to set up these carts to head back out. Is there anything you guys are trying to do before then?
Well, I'd like to short rest real quick, but
Yeah, that's easy
Yeah,
enough to
same
do.
here. I was at Talon. I don't know if you got this when you were checking the powder and stuff, but can any of that be used for magical stuff? As he does, he kind of making fun, like doing like kind of like the spirit fingers type stuff.
I mean, fire is pretty magical, but I don't know of it as being a powerful magical component necessarily. Unless I mean, there's probably lots of magics I don't know about, but you know.
I would say you haven't seen smoke powder used in any kind of magical applications before. You would know from that history roll. Um, Generally, it is a more natural based method of recreating what non-magic folk can do. So like with the creation of like dynamite or those pistols that you found in Waterdeep, those are all kinds of man-made mechanical creations as a way to even out the playing field for those who can cast arcane magic or divine magic and those who cannot.
Well, I'm sure some smart person could devise a spell that uses this stuff. It's not typically used for that, as far as I'm aware.
Just spitballing ideas, I guess, in my head.
Definitely.
Perry, so eventually, as you guys are just kind of mulling about resting for a little bit while the carts get repaired, eventually the one guy that you had knocked out earlier seems to come to consciousness. You see him kind of startled and shake his head a little bit, just like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Your friends took off. Well, they headed that way. Just tell them to. Just point in the direction that they ran off.
Uh, without a word, he just starts running.
Do you not think we should have? Well, he's gone now.
I mean, you could try to catch him. He's just running.
We know where they're gonna be, so I don't see any reason to question them, right?
Could have had some extra info, see if they could have been lying to us or something else. if they, when we meet them.
I'm not too worried about it. Well, at least Perry isn't.
He looks pretty far away now. It's probably not worth the effort.
You just mind sliver him as he gets right at 60. He just goes up and passes out again. So,
No, no.
with the carts repaired, and it's now coasting towards night. I mean, you guys are ready to kind of set back out, or were you guys just trying to head back to Waterdeep? What are you trying to do?
Can you bring up the map?
I
Like
sure
if we
can.
know the map, then it might be good to see.
Absolutely.
Well, we need to find them and resolve this issue.
I think they said they were. I heard south of Yartar, I believe, by like a day. So
Yep. So you guys are generally around here. He said somewhere south of Yartar.
I mean, we could kind of assume the caravan is safe at this point and go chasing them now to save some time, or we could make the really long trek back and forth.
I think it's safe, and our job was just to make sure it was safe, right? We didn't have to necessarily follow it the whole way.
Now we gotta resolve the issue. So it doesn't happen anymore.
I think that's going to require a meeting in Yartar, or south of Yartar.
I'm sorry, maybe it was said and I missed it. How long would it take us to get there?
It wasn't said, but you kind of look at the map that you guys purchased and you kind of gauge roughly how far it'd be to Yartar. It would be maybe about a day to a day and a half journey to reach the city of Yartar itself. If you guys are trying to head south of Yartar, I mean that's a wide area. So they didn't really give too much specifics, so you're kind of like searching through the hilltops. It's not really, these aren't really mountain ranges. You guys would know it's more of like rocky plateaus that have varying heights and sizes. You guys do know that the Desern River kind of runs along, and that kind of feeds into the channel of Yartar, as Yartar is a well-known fishing city, along with other various agricultural gains. It's a pretty prosperous town. So you guesstimate if you guys are going to try to travel through the Rocky Crags, it could be a day, it could be two, could be more. Depends on how you guys, how fast you guys travel. But you definitely would know that going that way, you probably wouldn't be able to take your horses that way. Unless you were to possibly travel all the way around the southern edge of the crag and then kind of like try to skirt your way up the south of the river. But it's up to you.
Does the river flow north to south or south to north?
This river flows north to south before it exits into the actual Sword Coast itself.
I kind of think we should head out and go look for him. I think the threat to the caravan is mostly taken care of.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but
Okay.
I
So you
agree.
guys, okay, cool. So you guys are heading through the plateau? Which way are you guys trying to go? You tell me. Go however you like.
I mean, maybe approaching from the south would be a direction they weren't necessarily expecting. Since they,
I was going to say go from the south up.
yep.
Walk with the caravan a little bit longer, and then go with that. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so you're gonna skirt around the mountains and then just follow the river up. Fun.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Through the river?
Yeah. So just essentially, you guys are trying to. Oh, that's terrible. Where is this? Just trying to go this way and then up.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, as it's already getting pretty late in the evening, you guys are eventually able to walk or ride with the caravan as you guys continue south down the long road, heading back towards Waterdeep. Um, kind of explaining to Horsuck as you go that, you know, you're gonna part ways and let him finish the trek back home to drop off that cargo. Um, you guys kind of camp for that last evening together as you guys are now right next to the Sword Mountains and what appears to be a couple miles away from the outlining of a forest. Um, just like somebody just go ahead and roll a perception check for me for watch, unless you guys aren't doing a watch.
We always do a watch.
Alrighty.
Before
but-
Horsock and the others go to sleep, Ava will also take the time to explain that they should avoid smoking on the road and that they should not build fires close to the caravan.
They're
Because it
sorry.
would be embarrassing for them to explode when they leave us.
there's a slight chuckle, and then as if they're like, yeah, okay, whatever, and just the seriousness in your voice afterward. Now they're just like, holy shit. You get the sense that they have been using fire a significant number of times near these crates before, and they seem to have been extremely lucky not to have exploded themselves. What were you gonna say, Tizio?
Yeah, to the group, should we, as we're camping and whatnot, I guess, should we give them a few extra coins to keep quiet about us going through the goods?
I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
tell anyone, and I don't know.
I think we're good. I got a sense they were cool.
I mean, what's the worst that happens? If, like, oh no, we looked at the goods we were transporting. I mean, I don't
Oh,
think
it
they're
could
gonna
give
know.
us an advantage on stuff. You never know.
If you want to pay him, Tizio, go ahead. But coming out of your cut,
Do you want to pay them, Tizio?
I think Tizio's gonna think, kind of sleep on it, given everyone's opinions.
Okay.
Tizio, it is a little suspicious when you just pay people gold out of nowhere.
What are you talking about? Who doesn't like free money?
Everyone likes it. It's just they're skeptical it's really free.
I throw a gold coin at Eva.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead and mark off a gold coin. Well, rest comes eventually to the group of you, rather battered and sore from the unexpected ambush that had brought some unwanted attention to the group of you. But nevertheless, you kind of cluster around yourselves within, I assume, the tiny hut.
yes. Oh, you need a
Um,
perception check, don't you?
Well, Perry did it for me.
Oh, okay, I saw.
Yeah, and so the night comes to a close. It a little chilly this evening, and you're not sure, Perry, if it's maybe just because you guys are so close to the mountain ranges. It's just causing a bit of a big draft, as this is almost kind of like a huge valley you guys are traversing through. But a well-lit, starry sky just kind of meets your eye, and you kind of take a look at your surroundings and just think about the events that have played out. But nothing catches your attention, thankfully. It seems to be relatively quiet, and you all rise the next morning having had a long rest. And as you guys are all fixing yourself some breakfast and just kind of taking a look at the day, the weather seems a little bit cloudy. You're not sure, but it might rain or something. Maybe in another day or so. But The day is yours. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, let's go hunting, right?
Travel on.
Real quick, is there a tool that would because I can create a tool. I think it's an hour for rest. I think it's an hour actually. But is there a tool we because I know I was using the right tool for the job for the cartography for Eva. Is there something else besides that that can assist us trekking through like the I guess the hills and stuff like that?
Well, I thought you guys aren't going through the hills. You guys said you were going around the plateaus,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, just kind of assisting us in traveling, I guess, through those areas.
well,
I know there's a bunch of tools, so I'm not sure.
I mean, there are a lot of different kits for survival and exploration and things like that. You tell me what you think would be a good fit and how you would apply it, and I will determine whether it gets a roll or not.
Well, no, that's what I was asking. If there was something like what tool would
There are navigator
what I
kits and
thought
things like that that can help you with
navigator. Okay, let me
like
take a look.
traversing areas. You also have a map for reference, which is a big help because then it'll lower the DC on your survival check for trying to navigate to the river. But I mean, you gotta kind of tell me what you're trying to do as far as like a little more
All right.
specific than, hey, I wanna know what the best way to get from point A to point B is.
Or we can't really miss the river, right? We'd have to be pretty bad to miss the river, and then we just follow the river.
Yeah. It's a very fair point. You do know that it'd be about a day or so's ride across the open grasslands to reach the river, and then from there, what you guys do and how you do it is up to you. I'm definitely not going to just say no out the bat. Definitely throw something at me. Tell
No,
me.
it's fine. I think I'm just wording the question incorrectly. But it's fine. I'll do some digging on my end.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like there are a lot of kits like you said. I just you know having just even a general compass and stuff can help with navigation. But you guys have a map, so you're pretty straightforward. You just have to trek it. So I mean, as far as like what you guys do as you travel, if you're trying to, you know, specifically be on the lookout for any kind of hostile enemies, if you guys are saying, hey, I'm just going to be the guy keeping tabs on the map, or, you know, what do you guys think is best? Because there's a whole section for movement and traveling and all kinds of activity you can do. So, navigating, drawing a map, tracking stuff, foraging.
I mean, let's just go. I don't know if we have to do too much special.
Sure. So you guys kind of pack up your things and you on horseback, on foot. What are you guys doing?
We still the river.
Okay. I would like to know a little marching order of who's going to take the lead as you guys push across the grasslands heading towards the Destron River. Galarian will kind of throw himself in the middle somewhere as he's seems to be bothered by something.
Well, Perry will take the front since. Yeah.
Okay.
You're pretty quiet, Calarian. Brooding.
I feel a little guilty for killing some helpless civilians, but we got more things to focus on. So Perry's up front. Where is everybody else going?
I'll ride with Perry.
All right.
I'll ride right behind them with Calarian.
Oh,
I will follow Ava.
I'll cover the rear.
okay.
Hey, Ellis, do you know how to hunt?
You mean for like food?
Yeah, like animals. Like we're out here and all we have is this like dried stuff. Don't people eat animals out here?
I mean, sure. if you, I could. No, we lived on the streets. We begged for money and we bought like sliders for a few copper. I don't actually know how to hunt. But I'm assuming Trap Man who builds shit could probably like make some animal traps. They're not that hard, right?
Yeah, I don't think you could beg for deer.
Yeah, no.
You know, I've
Oh,
read a
we would
lot about
steal.
hunting.
That's what we did. We stole. So if you need me to like steal some copper off of a mouse, maybe.
Could you steal some venison off of an animal?
If I got real close and the animal wasn't running away, tell you what, actually if I got the sneak approach, I could probably annihilate a deer.
I think I might be able to charm one.
What if you like flew, Ellis? They would never think to look up.
You don't think goats try to avoid hawks?
Fair enough, but it would be quieter.
Hey man, I'll do whatever. If you give me flight, I'll do whatever you want me to do for 10 minutes, as long as I'm flying.
I mean, I could go hunting. I've read a lot about it, and you know.
You promised me flight, now I want to go hunting.
I would like to see Thalum hunting.
Look, I don't have fly prepared right now, so that's a tomorrow event.
You have fooled me, and now I want to hunt just for the hell of it.
But would you like to accompany me on my hunting trip? Since
Yeah, let's go, weirdo.
Alright, I would like both of you to make survival checks.
I'm Avis tagging along with them, but like at a distance.
Sure.
I was gonna say, I'm just looking at Talum in confusion. Talum doing physical labor?
Alright. So, first off, Perry, go ahead and just give me a perception check as you guys are making this, first day of trekking towards the river. Excellent. Relatively smooth sailing, other than the seemingly encroaching darkness as it seems to be rolling in from the west. You can definitely get the sense that it's probably going to rain soon. Eventually, about midday or so into your travel, the argument about who's the better hunter arises, and you all kind of stop and you watch as Talum and Ellis kind of venture off into the plateaus a little bit to attempt to scavenge some food. Eva, you're kind of keeping the tabs on them, just kind of following back behind as they slowly try to stealthily locate something to eat. Maybe about 10 or 15 minutes or so of looking through the rocky plateaus of this area, Ellis, you hear what sounds like some kind of living thing moving and just kind of coming from the distance.
Hey, I think I hear a chipmunk.
okay, what do we do now?
Well, do you have any ranged things?
Yes.
Great. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try and sneak up behind this chipmunk, and I'm going to ambush it. And if I miss, you're gonna back me up with your lightning shit.
I don't think it will be lightning, but it will be from far away.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Tizio's the lightning one. You're fire, right?
That is one thing that could happen, yes.
Okay. I mean, you'll probably cook him before we ever get a chance, but we'll see what goes on. All right, and I will walk towards the sound.
Okay. Quietly, stealthily? What do you're just
Yes,
walking in? Okay,
stealthily.
go ahead and make stealth checks. Talum and Ellis and Eva. And who else was tagging along? Anybody else?
In fact, with my new spider climb, I'm going to go into the trees.
Okay, so you took spider climb. No trees here. Plenty of
Oh,
rocky
no trees.
area. No, you guys are walking kind of north towards the rocky cliff area. You guys are about here now. So you guys are actually heading into the crags a little bit to look for something to eat. But you can definitely scale up any of the, you know, plateaus that are there. And as you do so, let's see. Yeah, Talon Perry, you guys trekking along too? Or Tizio Perry?
No.
You just gonna hang back? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
I'm gonna just
Um,
make too much noise.
Say again?
I just make too much noise.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, you just kind of keep track of the horses as you guys are resting, taking this break. Yeah, so as quietly as you can, Eva just hanging back the most, and you don't even notice Eva at the moment, but you guys are just locked into the sound of this prey as it's just you can hear what sounds like rocks tumbling or something in the distance, and you eventually come across this wide base of a plateau that just as you peer into the shadows underneath it, it appears to be a small tunnel that kind of leads inward. You can't really see too much from this distance, but as you stop and listen, you can definitely hear these sounds of something clicking and snapping and rocks moving and shifting from within.
Does this cave look like it goes back pretty deep? Like,
At this distance, it's hard to tell.
Guys, you should go in the cave.
All right, I'm gonna crawl to the top lip of the cave
Hmm.
and crawl in on the ceiling.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Because I need to pull up the right stat block. Okay. So, you crawling in upside down, and it's a strange experience, especially for you, Talon, and Eva to see this as these small little bone protrusions start coming out of Ellis's arms and hands and feet, and he starts latching on to the rocks itself. He eventually crawls his way up through the ceiling and inside and out of sight. And while it is dark in here, your limited dark range allows you to see. It appears completely barren in this tunnel that extends down maybe a good 40, 50 feet or so. And as you get in past that initial lip, you can hear the the sounds are now definitely louder, and definitely sounds like more than one of something that you're not familiar of. You kind of slowly push your way further inside. Eventually, you come to what appears to be the back of this cavern. And while the cavern itself extends out maybe about 40 feet or so in diameter, you see what appears to be these large armored like creatures, and as they're currently sitting there's about five of them, and they're just kind of clustered around this small cave, and you can hear them all. Yeah, you guys long rested. You can hear them all snapping at each other, and in some kind of what appears to be conversation. Their long pincered hands, very similar to yours almost when you transform, along with, it's hard to make out color, but you can see that their long triangular shaped heads kind of reach back up, and then they have these long mandibles or pincers on the front of their face that snap in these what appear to be like some kind of antennae or something that are just kind of moving from side to side. And as you kind of stop and stare at them, they turn and look up in your direction.
I would like to run away.
Okay. So, with that, let me see here. Yeah, okay. So, what I need to happen is I need some initiative orders. Let me just throw this on a map real quick because I didn't have one set up for this.
Ava was going to message Ellis after a little while and ask, Ellis, did you see anything?
Sure.
Nah, I just hear the chipmunks. They're close. But that's before I reach the edge.
Correct. Yeah, so you traveled kind of into the cavern just a bit. Let me kind of throw these on here because this will be fun. Or I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick break, 5-6 minutes or so, and then I'll have this all set up, and then when we come back, we can do this. Sound good?
Though,
Cool.
Awesome
Yep.
stuff. All right, back in a few minutes, guys.
This joke went farther than I expected it to.
yep.
I mean, we managed to hunt some very unappetizing creatures.
Is that a pancake?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, we have to trail them all back to camp. It's gonna be hilarious.
Eventually, Ellis will kite them back enough where we can just fireball them.
I
I
was
was
really
gonna-
hoping he.
I
I was
was
really
gonna-
hoping he kept adding more to the map as we kept talking.
I was gonna fill the cave with I was gonna fill the cave with a stinking cloud and have Ellis stand in the doorway. Shall not pass.
Yeah. I'm
Oh
trying to-
dear God.
they're just kind of clustered around each other right now. You're not entirely sure what they were doing, but
Hey, if they speak any language, Ellis could technically talk to them.
that's true.
Yes, it's always good to conversate with the things you're hunting.
Or
Wait,
the
or-
things that are hunting you.
We are truly expert hunters.
Alright, I'm gonna actually take break, BRB.
All right. Just because he rolled a 1, man.
But I rolled a 3, so
Yeah.
really that cancels it out.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. You guys are crazy. So Ellis is in the cave. You guys are a ways away. I don't even know if this map is big enough. Jeez Louise.
Well, you said the cave was like 40, 50 feet deep, right?
Yeah, it's not that bad. 10, 20, 30. Yep, just about 40. It was a really small cave, so they're just kind of like here. And then it kind of like narrowed out a little bit before it widened out to a plateau. So 10,
And we're at the
20,
mouth, right?
30, 40, 50. Yeah, some roughly around there. I would say you guys are a little further back, like over here somewhere, just because he went in from the top himself. And they were just kind of clustered around. Seemed like maybe they were eating or something. You're not entirely sure.
They were preparing for their Ellis snack.
Yeah, man.
These are some ugly looking chipmunks.
Yeah, they're not pretty. right back.
Our initiative's vanished.
Oh, they went away.
They were so good.
Well, Ellis's was pretty good.
I was actually kind of hoping we found like a chipmunk or something because I could vicious mockery it to death.
How dare you admit to wanting to interfere in the hunt?
I just really like the idea of like cussing an animal to death. I don't know why that's appealing to me.
It's pretty funny. I mean, I don't disagree.
I have a lot of annoying animals near my house. Maybe that's why.
These things remind me of cicadas.
Oh my god, are you in cicada zone?
I was this summer.
We had them like crazy. And the worst of it are, we live in like an older neighborhood. There's a lot of old trees, and it was so bad that like, it was audible inside. Like,
Yeah,
even
same
in
here.
the house, you could just hear it. And outside, there were a couple days where we actually got headaches just like hanging outside. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was pretty bad for a couple weeks. On the plus side, you get to wait 20 years till it's a problem again.
Yeah, although now we have these cicada mites, like so I live in the DC area, and apparently there's this kind of like little microscopic size mite that like eats their eggs, so it comes out this time of year, but it can fall out of the trees onto you, and it bites. It leaves like they're like mosquito bites. It's terrible.
Oh, I just googled these. These are not pleasant.
I'm back. Everybody back?
Why is nature so horrible?
All right. Let me know when everyone's back.
John!
I'm back.
All right, cool, cool.
You managed to clear our initiative DM.
Oops. Thanks for letting me know.
Oh yeah, I can reroll that back.
What do you mean I managed to clear the initiative? Oh, you rolled it earlier? I'm sorry.
Now you gotta change it to a 6. Much sad.
Give me my 20.
You just gotta roll it again and manually edit it.
Yep.
Oh. Oh, did I not? I think I...
Well, he
Is
cleared
my
it.
character not on the
I
battlefield?
cleared it because yeah, your character's not on the battlefield. I cleared it because
Ah.
the old initiative was on there. I guess I could have just deleted everybody. Yep, that's about where you are. You're up on the ceiling, about 30 or so feet up. Well, so as you're in there in the dark in this space here, and you can see that there's a cluster of these armored-looking bug-like creatures now that have been making this clicking sounds. They all kind of like turn to look at you. Not a surprise round, but they did see you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna turn around, and I'm going to double dash outside of his cave
Okay.
and say, "It's not chipmunks! It's not chipmunks!"
Is it a bear?
That's all I say as I'm panting out of here.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, and as you do, they immediately start charging in after you. So some of these guys are going to dash up. So that's about where they get. And what you guys see now, coasting out from the interior of this rocky plateau, these large creatures that are now just, you hear the sounds and the vibrations as they just start rushing out in droves. This one's going to run up to about here, and this one is actually going to move just 30. I think 30 gets him right there. And this one here is actually going to kind of look out to the group of you as he kind of rushes up and you hear this loud skittering sound. They're going to attempt to spray some acid at the group of you. So I need... You would be on the ground at that point now, Ellis.
Yeah, I would jump off.
Yeah. So I need each of you to make, or I need Ellis and Eva to make dex saves. Alright. Do you get No. Talon? I'm sorry, I didn't mean Ellis, I meant Talon. The two of you. Because you're right next to each other. Alright, so you both save, thankfully. So you both take 7 points of acid damage as this long spray of acid just spews out of the mouth of this one here on the side. And this one is going to slowly start making his way up to as far as he can. But that'll kind of be their turn. Talon, what you doing? Yeah. Dex saves from it. Oh, I know what's happening. Let's see here. Gotta roll this a bunch of times. So that is one failure.
What did you do, Ellis?
One succeeds.
Those are really big. They're
It's
not
hunting.
Ooh.
I feel like this is how the sewer rats hunt. This is our version of hunting.
I would also like to move.
Oh yeah,
You know.
definitely. Alright, so all but one fail. You're just kind of throwing it in the center of them, I imagine, right?
The goal is to hit all 6 of them, if that's possible.
Oh yeah, easy enough to do. But yeah, you watch as this loud eruption of fire just kind of blasts the space, lighting them up, and you hear them all screech and scream as fire begins to like consuming a lot of them. Not dead, but in a lot of pain. They are
And then I'll
all
just-
still standing.
Walk 30 feet back or some whatever to the edge of the map.
All right, Eva.
Hypnotic pattern. I can get them all, so I need wisdom saves at through the vial, so at disadvantage unless I have something that counters it.
They get disadvantage.
Yeah, if anything that inflicts a charmed condition, if cast through the vial, the save is with disadvantage.
Very cool. Turn off the public rolls. I don't even know why it gives me that option.
We weren't seeing the rolls before, so
I know, because I had to keep on manually doing it. This way now I can just click 6 times. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, these are wisdoms. I'm rolling the wrong one. Let's do it again.
Why does this map have the stock number for 2069?
Oh.
I mean, there's a lot of plain maps with just squares out there.
Okay, yeah. So one succeeds, the rest do not.
All the ones who fail are charmed, incapacitated, and have a speed of 0.
Lucky. Okay. Ellis.
And people will say, "Okay, they're stopped now. Just go hit them, Alice." Oh, and that's an inspiration. She'll throw an inspiration on Alice too.
Very cool.
So we're not running.
Oh, Talon like half cooked them. Just finish it.
Well, I've always been a fan of cooked roaches. They're a lot cheaper than sliders. Turn around and rush in. Which one seems the most dangerous at the moment?
Dangerous. You see one is still kind of like moving around in the back. The other ones appear to be just kind of like stunned and sizzling from smoke.
All right, I will. I'll head towards that one in the back.
Oh, okay.
I will rage,
Yes.
and I'll be like, "Hey, fancy boy, I think my pincers are better than yours," and attack him 3 times.
Go for it. Just hits. Very nice. So 11, 19, 21, 23, 32. Nice. Yeah, so that one you kind of rush up to him and you just start pounding onto him, and even though their armor is pretty thick, you're still managing to break through, and especially now that the fire is like kind of incinerated a good portion of them. They've taken a lot of damage, and you're able to just easily see the now cracks and the dried out parts of their armor. And as you start punching through, you can see this green blood that starts to begin to pour out of them as you begin punching into them. But that one completely starts. He just falls over to his side.
That's a new color. Nice.
Nice. Do anything else?
Movement, bonus action, action. I think that is the end of my turn.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, the Onkegs don't really have a turn anymore.
No, yeah, I
Can't
think they
take
lost their
actions
turn.
or reactions or move
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah, they each of these ones lost their turn because you took out the one that only had a turn. So go for it. What are you doing? Tell him.
I'll just do nothing. I'll leave it to Ellis to chop them all down.
Okay, Eva.
Okay, if Dalam had hit one, I'm pretty sure I could have done something to it, but yeah, I don't know why he went up and not kill it. So we're just gonna let Ellis do this.
Okay, so you're not doing anything either.
Just maintain concentration.
They permanently lose. That's so crazy.
If it's only for the next minute, right? When I have
Yeah,
penalty,
well, I
but-
mean,
but
definitely.
since they're all locked down.
Yeah, definitely.
If Ellis hits one and it doesn't die, like if one is right no longer because it I think it can, if it takes damage the spell ends, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if one survives and is about to move, then I will cast Vicious Mockery on it. So already that.
Okay, yeah. Ellis.
I just see these standing here and they're not doing anything.
Your allies are just standing there, just kind of sitting back, crossing their arms, just smiling.
I look like I'm thinking.
Ellis, go get him.
While this is going on, I'm just gonna be like, man, I sure hope those guys get back soon, Perry. I'm getting quite hungry. I can even smell steak right now. That's how hungry I am.
Make a perception check, Tizio.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I got my first kill in, and my beast sense is riling up here. So I'm going to give myself a charisma save to see if I want to take the easy way out. I don't know what I set my DC yet, but I'm a little bored after days of traveling. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna attack this one once, and I'm gonna run over here and attack this one once.
Go for it.
I have advantage on each one of my individual strikes because
Yeah.
they're all incapacitated.
You sure do. So you don't even need to be reckless for this.
Nope. 19 on first, 19 on the second, 25 on the last one.
Oh yeah, and it's easy enough for each one. You just kind of rush up, and it's like playing whack-a-mole here. You're just punching each of them. They were already like, even though they're kind of incapacitated and they're frozen. You see that they are very sluggish. They all seem to be like just on the cusp of death, and you're just kind of like just having a good old time beating them down.
I just run by, cut one leg off, swing by, cut a mandible off.
Oh yeah, and easily enough it happens. Their turn. They can't do anything. Tell them, what you doing?
Good work, Ellis. 2 more left.
It's not even a fight. Come on, guys. At least, like, entertain me.
You heard him, Ava. Let him free.
Do you want me to let him go?
For, like, 10 seconds. Let them go. See if they run. If they run, that'll be satisfying.
I'll drop concentration and hold vicious mockery for one of the moves to attack Ellis.
Oh, okay. Ellis. It's back to your turn. You watch as now they're starting to move now again as concentration drops, and they're kind of looking at you, and they let out a loud sound.
I'm going to fall prone and end my turn.
All right. What'd you get on your perception check, Tizio? 6? No, yeah, you didn't hear nothing. You're just kind of out there talking to Perry, and Calarian's just sitting there quietly on his horse, just kind of looking around. Perry, you doing anything while they're off doing whatever?
No. Just
Okay.
I'll be complaining like Tizio. Where are these guys? How long does it take to find food?
Right. Okay. So now that they kind of they don't know that they're being toyed with, but they kind of shake, and you watch as their mandibles start to skitter and let out this loud, like almost like a rattlesnake sound as they start, and it starts echoing off the walls, and they look and curiously kind of tilt their head to the side a little bit. Both of them are going to attempt to spray you with acid, seeing the rest of their companions on the ground. I need you to make 2 dexterity saving throws at disadvantage because you're prone.
Shit, you're right. I'll just make them normal because I'm a barbarian.
No, I don't think you get disadvantage for being prone.
Is it only I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get disadvantage if you're prone for a melee attack. I thought for sure.
No, well, this is a spray. This isn't a
A
melee
dex
attack.
save? Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. It's
Sure.
a straight roll for me anyways. Wow. 2 4s.
Oh yeah. Well, no, you would get advantage. You're right. You don't have disadvantage.
Oh,
So go ahead and
okay. I'll roll 2 more
roll.
times.
Sure. There you go. Yeah, so you save on both. So you only take you take 7 points of acid damage as both of them just kind of spray this viscous, like purple and red looking like acid that just kind of like starts to singe onto your beautiful white suit, and it starts to eat up at the fabric a little bit.
Oh, okay. Know what? I'm not messing around now. Now you're getting it.
You
I'm
watch
gonna
as
slaughter you two.
yeah, this one starts moving away. This one starts also running back. That ends their turn. Give me 1 second. Ah. Okay, so what are you doing? Tell them.
At this point, since they're running away, I'll just launch a Mind Sliver at them.
Okay. In save, yeah?
Yeah. I'm sure.
Super. Oh, he fails. 5 points of damage. He is still standing, but he is hurt really bad.
Then I'll use my bonus action to give Ellis a little shove of encouragement.
Ellis, make a strength save.
Well, he can choose to fail.
Oh, well, he could if he knew. Ellis, you suddenly start feeling your back being shoved forward. Do you resist it?
What's going on?
I've given you a boost.
Do
I
you
don't know what's
resist it?
happening.
This has happened before. This is exact situation.
The floor is moving.
Whatever. It's fine.
I will as I realize what's happening towards the end of it, I get pushed forward 5 feet.
Okay.
Oh shit. Oh, okay.
Eva.
That's it. Run, you oversized cockroach. Yeah, I need a wisdom save on the one that Talon hit. which it has a disadvantage because of Mind Sliver.
Yeah.
Well, not disadvantage. It has a
Oh, it's
minus 1d4.
That's right. It's minus d4.
Okay. What does he need to roll?
With save.
With save.
Yeah.
The best. I'm sure he'll fail the single roll that I'm doing. Yeah, he fails.
6 damage.
Oh no! You watch as he's like mid-run, and you can see like it's just dripping blood. It just completely like keels over in this loud, horrendous scream of pain. Ellis.
I will run up to this last Onkeg and jump on its back.
Oh, okay.
And I would like to stare it in the eyes as I say, "Look what you did to my suit!" and then stab it in the face.
Go for it. Yeah, with that last lunging punch, you managed to easily just eviscerate this last one as well. It's quite impressive. You were extremely happy that you got to stretch your legs out. Now, with that, let's see here. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Alice, are there any more in there?
So with that, what happens is, as you're kind of standing there, Eva, just watching from a distance, what you don't notice is that some individuals are sneaking up behind you, and as you kind of turn, you notice that there are more humanoid-looking this time, bug-like creatures that are standing on, they're standing bipedal, and they're wearing this kind of like makeshift armor or something on their over their bodies. They almost look like ants at close inspection, and they're both carrying what appear to be these long trident-looking things, and they immediately like just start snapping at you, and they're both going to attempt to attack. So this, let's see, because what's your passive?
Passive perception?
Yeah. So you
17.
would have just seen it as they snuck up, because they rolled 17 for stealth. And let's see here. So they are both going to attempt to bite you, and then make a claw attack against you. Which, oh man, they can't roll for nothing. So a 19 to hit for one, for 7 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
And the other one is going to attempt to bite you as well, for 22 to hit. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. You felt this course of like some kind of poison or something like about to seep into your system, but you kind of shrug off the sensation. And he goes and he swings with his claws for a 10, which misses you. And now that you kind of like look around and you can see, just in that brief instance, you appear to be surrounded by a number of them.
Alice, there's a bunch of bugs out here.
They're all, you can see this Talum as you kind of turn and swing as Eva like shouts out in pain as she gets hit by these two creatures that are now surrounding her. Actually, they moved. This one would have been closer. Yeah, they appeared to be slowly trying to surround you guys.
Could Perry and Tizio potentially hear us or no?
They can make perception checks.
Okay. I'll posture my way over here a little bit so I can get an angle. And I'll lob a fireball over this way, and then hit these nerds without hitting Ava. Just that's important these days.
I love
Okay.
not being hit with fireballs.
So these are dex saves for
So do
these
I,
wonderful
but
people.
apparently you're luckier.
Yeah, Perry and Tizio can make perception checks if they like, because now this is a second fireball that's making a loud explosion. You guys are
They
maybe
just
like,
shriek in pain.
yeah, you guys are like, well, no, they're like 300 plus feet from you. Because you guys wandered off a good 10-15 minutes into the caves. Yeah, Perry, you hear a loud rumbling of something, almost like thunder had struck, and you're not entirely sure if it's the weather because you knew that the clouds were graying. Double check.
Can
their
I
stats.
cast
Mm-hmm.
a Druidcraft to see what the weather's like?
Sure.
The next 24 hours.
You would know. Yeah, you would know that in the next 24 hours, it's definitely going to downpour.
Sounds like the rain's coming in early.
3 and 4.
That was a good one, Perry.
So 3 of the 4 of them save. 3 out of the 4 of them save.
Cool. We can now see their health bars if that's on purpose. Or
Yeah,
not.
I know it's not. I threw these tokens on at the last second.
You just had to continue the hunt.
Hey, you attract people when you cast loud magics.
I will keep doing so. I don't really care.
Just not the right people.
Yep.
Yeah, why can't we track like a second-hand store shopkeep, second-hand store magic items? It's like, oh, I hear adventures off in the distance.
A traveling cart.
I was gonna say the guy from Resident Evil 4, the shopkeeper guy, just comes out of
Right,
nowhere. What
Yep.
are you buying?
Ugh.
Oh man, hold on 1 second, guys. That's why I like paper sometimes. I'm gonna click
love
and wait for
paper.
everything. Yeah, playing physical is so good because I don't have to frickin' just having a mini and stats on paper.
Hell
I mean, you can
yes.
still do that. Just print the paper out and hold it in your hand.
I could.
It's true, you can.
Just give me a second.
If you change from using Roll20 maps to using like a webcam that is over a table of minis, I will not judge you.
Don't tempt me. I might do that. I will be very happy to paint minis for you guys. Be
That's
fun.
probably
No
going to
way.
be the only thing that would
Mhm.
top the new GM when it comes in, or the new DM when it comes in.
Noted.
I can't wait for the new GM car that's coming out.
Okay, there. So that's all set. All right. So
D&D by GM.
3 of the 4 of them save. 1 did not. So that one takes the full damage. The rest of them are taking half. So yeah, Perry, as as you kind of listen out, as you're waiting for impatiently for them to return from their little escapade of a hunt, you hear a loud rumbling of something, and you cast Druidcraft to kind of look at the weather, and you definitely know a storm's coming, but it didn't sound like thunder. It's weird. Doing anything else, Talon?
I'll try to pull Ava back 5 feet so she doesn't have to take an opportunity attack.
Okay. You slowly feel the sensation of being pulled, Eva.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay. So you get pulled back 5 feet. And it's
Watch
your
them have
turn.
glaives or something.
I mean, they bit me.
They did.
How those guys look after a fireball? Like that, they're just chilling.
So after the fireball exploded, you can see a couple of them are one of them's hurt pretty bad, and you can see that he's kind of like clutching onto his side as best he can. There's a big pool of blood coming out from what you guess is maybe his abdomen or so. You're not entirely sure. Very strange creatures. The other ones are kind of looking at the group of you, just extremely angry. And you watch as they all start to slowly get into what looks like some kind of squat position.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna toss. They have eyes.
They do.
Okay, I'm gonna toss hypnotic pattern on the 4 on that side then.
Sure. Those are wisdom saves again, right?
Yep, wisdom saves disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. That succeeds. 16 succeeds.
16 does succeed.
18. And 1 fails.
Ah, 16 and 18 with disadvantage? Holy mess.
Yep.
There's some wise ants.
It's like he was mad at us for killing his Onkeg, so he
It's
spawned some.
like he
wisdom
looked up the
savers.
wisest bug in the monster manual. All right. Well, feeling that that had less effect than she wanted to, and just generally not being a fan of what's going on, she says, "Dallum, you totally have this," and then she's gonna run back into the cave towards Alice.
All
You
right.
motherfucker.
But taking an inspiration though, so
You feel inspired as she runs past you out of sight into the darkness.
that's it.
Okay. Perry and Tizio, what are you guys doing?
Maybe we should go check on these guys.
Fuck the horses, man.
I heard what sounded like a boom, but I'm not sure if it's thunder or not.
It did sound strangely like a fireball. Kind of look at Perry, and I'll just start darting.
You just start dashing in? Okay, it'll take you a
Yeah.
couple rounds, but you'll be able to make your way there. Ellis, what's going on?
Well, I feel a little disappointed that I don't have time to wallow in my success. So I will can I kind of like saunter up to the front of the cave and grab one of the Onkeg legs that I chopped off?
Okay. Sure. you
And
can do that.
I would like to. Where was I? Was I here-ish?
Roughly.
Okay. Just need to
That was the
check my
last. That was the
movement
last
here.
one you killed.
Okay, cool. So I would like to grab one of these Onkeg legs and just walk up to the front of the cave and present my new weapon.
Oh, okay.
And kind of just look intimidatingly out at the bugs.
Okay. Make an intimidation check at disadvantage because you were rushing up with a dash action. So.
I have movement of 40 feet.
Oh, you do. Oh, that was your. I'm sorry. So go ahead, just make a straight intimidation check then, as you kind of saunter out with this long Onkeg's leg. Okay. So as you kind of emerge from the cave, and you can see a couple of them are on your left side from you. So on this side, they're kind of looking at you, and they seem a little startled as you were covered in various different types of blood, and you were just standing there with a large smile on your face, and similar pincers coming out from your hands. But there you stand with like almost like a baseball bat stance with this Onkeg leg. It's very scary.
Beautiful. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. So on their turn, just you watch as there's a bit of chattering and teeth clacking as these small pincers on their mouths from these ant-like humanoid creatures just kind of converse amongst themselves, almost as if they're trying to say something to you momentarily, and then they start throwing things at you.
Okay.
So, well, no, they're throwing things at Talon because they are not too happy seeing you out at first. So 3 of them are going to throw things at you, Talon, and then the other 4 are going to attempt to attack you, Ellis. So let's see here.
Bring it.
First one is a 15 to hit.
No.
23 to hit.
Yes.
So you take 8 points of slashing. And then another 23 to hit.
Yes.
You take 4 points of slashing as these what appear to be these like 3-foot long almost like it's like a piece of armor or some kind of like hide or something that has been constructed into this like almost like a javelin and has been like chucked from the guys on your immediate left side over here, and you watch as one kind of whizzes by, and as it does, you kind of watch it stick off into the dirt, and then two more just kind of pelt into your sides. You kind of rip them out and throw them onto the ground. They just kind of look at you very angrily. Let's see here. This one's going to kind of round the corner a little bit, and he's going to attempt to throw one at you as well, Ellis. This will be at disadvantage. Oh no, he didn't see you, so this will be a straight throw for him. That'll miss. The other ones are going to just kind of... This one is going to throw, because he's looking a little hurt. Ooh, that's terrible. So he misses, and he's going to back up, because he's in a lot of pain. This one is actually going to rush in towards you, and he is going to make 2 attacks. He's going to attempt to bite you. There's a 14 to hit.
That misses.
Alright, and then he's going to attempt to slash at you with his claw. For a 5. Ooh, they cannot roll. Nice. And then this last one is going to rush over. And he is also going to attempt to throw one thing at you. This will be a straight roll for him. For a 21 to hit. So you'll take 3 points of slashing, rounded down to 1. And that will be their turn. Talon.
Well, I will, walk backwards a bit. Just, as you do. I will... Yeah, I'll just launch a fireball over. Might as well try to get rid of some of them.
Okay, at who? Which group?
The ones on the right who are damaged.
Oh, these ones. Okay. So
Yeah, I don't think I can hit that one, but I can hit those 3, I think.
Alrighty. So dex save for the first one.
Oh my god, that was a good roll.
That was a really good roll.
4 6s. Oh, that's disgusting. Nothing below 3.
Saves. 2 fail, 1 saves. That's really good. Yeah, so actually, even with the half, that is enough to wipe all 3 of them off the map. You watch as a secondary fireball, and now Perry, you hear this in pretty quick succession, another loud rumbling and cracking, not too far off from where you know your party had went.
Is Clarence still with me, right?
Claren's just kind of sitting there. He's like tending the horses. He kind of looks at you and says, "Go see what the fuck they got into."
Yup. And Perry's run off?
Yeah. Eva.
I'm going to hit the one that's right next to Ellis with Dissonant Whispers.
Wisdom save, yeah?
Yep.
No,
Inspiration.
he fails.
Inspiration's ability checks and saving and attack rolls, right?
Yeah. Ability checks, saving throws, attack rolls.
I don't think saving throws.
You can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it is saving throws?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Pretty much anything, but it fails, so it takes 12 points. Very nice.
12 points, and it needs to run away from me, which means if it's still alive, Ellis gets an opportunity attack.
Let's see. I didn't even know you could move on a reaction. That's such a weird wording. But yeah, it'll start running away from you. Ellis, go ahead and swing at this guy who suddenly screeches out in this pain and grabbing onto its head and starts running away.
Am I proficient with on-keg legs?
No.
Dang it. All right.
This will be an improvised weapon.
Okay, I'll just take a swing. It's gonna be. I'm assuming it's still strength though, so +4.
Yeah.
Hicks. Don't think that hits.
No, 6.
Roll the
does
D8.
not.
Roll the D8 Bardic Inspiration die.
I do still have that.
If it fails, you get to keep it now. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. You still have it.
Oh,
Does not hit.
okay.
All right. Uh, Tizio, you are rushing over there very quickly, and you did hear, now that you're rushing in that direction, a second, what you can definitely tell is a fireball being set off in the distance. You're still about maybe 100 or so feet away, but you're getting there.
Question: Is that full movement,
That's
or the reason I
action.
went with
That's action and dash with your expeditious, because I think you run 90 feet or something a turn.
35 each? Well, 105.
You run 105 per turn with your expedition.
Yeah, because
Expeditious.
there'll be movement, action, and bonus action if I take each one to dash.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they were like 300 plus feet away from you when this started. So you were definitely getting closer, and at a very
Okay.
quick pace. Perry is not able to see you, but he is trying his best to rush up.
The little legs are doing their best.
Yeah. But Ellis, I think it is your turn.
I see this on cake leg's not very effective, so I'll be like, well, maybe you're better dinner than you are a weapon. I'll toss it to the side and say, all right. I didn't want to have to do this. But you all surrender. Thank you very much for attending. And now, I guess you'll have to leave with your heads off. Attack this one recklessly.
Okay, go for it.
With me claws.
Oh yeah. And that is enough damage, just enough to you kind of rush up back to the back of him, and he's still clutching onto the sides of. You're not sure. You don't see ears or anything like that, but it seems like he's just trying to grab onto his head, and he's letting out this shriek of like terrible pain. And you take that opportunity to just kind of like rush up to the back of him, and punch him in the back, and you actually hear a snap as the center of his neck is just like pushed in, and the head just kind of lolls off, and just kind of his entire body collapses down onto the ground.
Is it sadistic that I thought that was satisfying? I want to hear it again. And I'll run over here and attack this guy.
All right, go for it. Yeah, both hit. Very nice. You pummel him with both strikes. He's taking a bit of damage, but he's still standing there. He's very angry and snapping his pincers in your direction.
All right, that's the end of my turn.
Very nice. Well, with that, the three of them that are left standing, this one's dead, are kind of looking at the situation, and you see them kind of look at each other, and then one by one, they immediately start to shimmer and vanish. Almost as if you could watch as their carapaces slowly start to turn to a natural color of their surroundings, almost as if they're slowly becoming invisible.
Yeah, you better run.
You
That's pretty
get
handy
this
trick.
you get the sense that something is like running away on foot as the ground is starting to kick up. You can get an opportunity attack at disadvantage if you like.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. But with that, those three survive, but they hauled ass out of there. A few moments later, you see Tizio rushing up to the group of you, and Tizio, as you get there, what you see before you is a number of insectoid-looking humanoids that are just completely on the ground, bloodied in pools of their own brackish, like muddy red-brown blood. And then as you kind of peer inside to the cave, you see even more monstrous. We're talking like 12 to 15 foot long creatures that are just completely ripped to shreds.
The hunt was successful, Tizio.
Bigger
And
than a chipmunk, but you know, I think we did a good job.
I look at the ones that were burnt. Like that explains the steak smell I had.
Shall we transport our hunt back to our sleeping grounds? Our victorious hunt? Shall we feast?
Sometimes big bugs like these, they might collect things. It might be worth, just checking in the back of the cave, see if there's anything there.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'll stealth in and take a look around as well.
You'll stealth in. Okay.
I'll start making
Well,
it.
I don't know what else this could be in there.
Yeah, make a stealth check.
If he's being
I will,
sneaky and Ava's just walking in, she's gonna be like, "He's over there. He's right there." Okay.
I will use the last like 30 seconds of my razor claws to chop off some more legs to carry back.
Okay, yeah, easy enough to do.
Can't roll shit tonight.
Neither can I, apparently. They all rolled below 10, except for the times that they didn't. Well, as you guys are taking a few minutes to scrounge around the cave system, and Ellis begins hacking and cracking, and you can hear the sounds of like just bone and muscle tissue being ripped out from these large creatures. Um, you'd find what appears to be the remains of a few more of these same ant-like creatures that you had just fought outside of the cave. They appeared to have been heavily dismembered, and it appears that they were being feasted upon by these larger creatures that you had just killed.
Well, that's what you get in terms of gratitude. Jeez.
Perry, a few more minutes pass by, and you manage to catch up to the party. Things seem to have quieted down a bit, but you look and see some of your friends show some wear and tear.
Hey,
I'm gonna go.
do any of you guys know how to fix clothes?
Yeah, I can do it. Not
Thank
my
you.
usual forte.
They yeah, they burned some patches, and it's such a new suit. I don't want it to get ruined so fast.
Guess Perry will spend a few minutes casting mend on
Okay.
the clothes,
Yeah, mending
and
will
then
definitely help repair that. And then what?
grumble about insect food.
Okay. Well, thankfully, a surprise encounter that quickly turned your way. What do you
Can I
guys want
loot?
to do?
Anybody loot the bodies? Like the the other guys, the humanoid-looking ones. If they haven't, I would like to
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
see if they have anything, any food.
Yeah. Very nice. So what you see is these what appear to be bipedal in nature, these insectoid looking creatures, and while they're now on the ground completely bloodied and beat up, you do notice that a couple of them do seem to have like small pouches or some kind of leather that's been kind of affixed to their sides and strapped on with like some kind of piece of string or something. Um, Apart from the long pincers and claws that they clearly have on their hands, you do see a couple of them have what appear to be these like javelins. Like they're not man-made javelins. They appear to be, I don't know how else to describe, but almost like it was some kind of hide or
Makeshift.
something. No. It's like a hide or something that like it's very like hard, almost as hard as like a rock or something. But they're these elongated like spiky looking javelins of sorts that were being hurled at your friends. Um, you're not entirely sure how these things were created. It's very weird, but you do find going through the four individuals that are laying here on the ground, um, no money, but you do find these what appear to be like these like small wood chips, maybe about the size of I don't know, about the size of what you imagine is like similar to like a gold piece or so, but completely made of wood. They're tattered in certain places. You find a couple pieces of what appear to be some kind of like dried jerky and a couple different rather small trinkets and baubles. Like one appears to be this small like almost like a talisman or something, and it appears to be like some kind of leaf or grass that's been woven and wrapped into almost like a little stick figure.
How many of the javelins are there? I'd like to collect them since I know
On
Clarion uses them pretty much.
yeah, on each of them there was you could collect about 12 of these things. They're about 3 feet long. Um, there's no they're all they're there's no man-made like material. There's no metal. There's no wood. These things they almost feel and look similar to the natural armor-like substance that creates these humanoid-looking bodies.
And I'm gonna throw the little thing that looks like a talisman to Talum. Like anything magical with that guy,
I'll cast detect magic.
and I'll obviously collect the jerky. And I guess for now I'll collect the small wood chips as well.
Sure. So just go ahead and mark off about 15 wood chips. The small talisman doesn't appear to have any kind of magical properties. It appears to be ornamental, maybe some kind of keepsake.
Okay. Um, I'll hand it back to Tizio and say that once in your greatest time of need, you can make bug noises for 2 minutes, and then it will let you fly for an hour.
Huh. Hey Ellis, you wanted to fly, and I'll toss it to Ellis and let him know how it works, I guess, or what it does, according to Talum.
Okay.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Hold up.
Tizio, go ahead and roll a deception check.
Give me two.
Would it be deception or like I'm not lying
Oh,
to him? That's what
well,
he told me.
fair enough.
Or Talum, I guess.
Make a perception check then. Or a persuasion check, excuse me. Yeah, I guess technically you were not lying because that's what you think it is. Okay.
Oh,
Do you-
I don't have advantage.
Yeah,
That's
I-
just a
I figured.
3.
As far as you can tell, this small the stick figure talisman that it appears to have been woven together with various bits of grass and a few pieces of twig. Um, I mean, it looks kind of cool, I guess. But hey, Tizio said it can make you fly.
2 minutes.
You cut out there.
I said 2 minutes. I have to make bug. Wait, what does it mean when my situation is dire? Do I have to use it when I'm almost dead?
It wasn't very
How
clear.
does this work?
Yeah, it wasn't clear. Those were the exact words the magic told me.
All right. Well,
Make a deception check. Tell him.
You know, Talon, that's really really cool of you to give something like that up. You know, maybe you're not such a jerk after all. And I kind of pat him in the back and walk off.
Hold on. Because he's trying so hard not to laugh the second time he said it. Let's see, Ellis. Passive insight. Yeah, no. Seems to be legit.
Well, I don't know if I'll ever be dire enough to use it, but if I ever am, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge with the fly spell. That's what's up, baby.
It does seem pretty inconvenient though. You have to spend 2 minutes when you're in big danger. So like, really think about relying on it.
Oh, what if I'm falling from an incredibly high height and I pull out this talisman and before I hit the ground, the fly spell goes off?
That is a perfect use for it.
Because I'm almost about to die, but it doesn't mean I'm too injured to use it.
I think you found the perfect application.
Alrighty. Well, now I have to look from an extremely high height to jump off of just to use it.
I don't think that'll work.
You don't? I shouldn't put that down in my bucket list?
Probably not.
Well, special occasion then.
Make sure me or Ava is around when you do that, just so you know.
What if, and I know this sounds crazy, what if I talked like a bug for a minute and 50 seconds, and then I jumped off a really tall cliff? Not extremely tall, but like tall enough where in 10 seconds it would go off and I could fly.
Yeah, but you weren't in danger during the minute and 50 seconds.
Right, but when does it say I have to be in danger?
It just said dire situation.
Dire situation. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Next time I see a really tall cliff, I'm gonna talk like a bug for a minute and 57 seconds, and then I'm gonna jump off.
Okay, just make sure I'm there, please.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay.
Cool. This will end well.
Oh yeah. You didn't set up a character player death. So, you guys kind of gather up your things. Are you guys trying to like harvest any of the stuff off the creatures, or feel like you've done what you needed?
Like the ant guys or the
Well,
monster guys?
there's also monster guys in there too. It's up to you guys.
Oh, I figured we'd just kind of loot them for food, I guess, for the time being.
Do we have any reason to believe that they might have valuable venom or carapaces or something?
Not necessarily. None of you have ever seen this kind of creature before.
Let's roll out. Let's go feed Claire some buck.
Alright. So you eventually make your way back out of the rocky plateaus, back towards the open field where you can see Calarian is like just in the process of trying to keep calm the horses as he is now just kind of by himself. But he kind of looks back to the group of you and he says, "You guys done messing around?"
We were hunting, Clarion. We were making sure that you had sustenance. There was no messing.
He grabs the satchel from his side and he says, "I've got enough food to last me a few days. I don't really need raw meats."
They won't be raw after we use the fire.
Ugh. Always gotta be so particular. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
He starts mounting up onto his horse. But the day's still early. It's only about noonish right now. If you guys want to continue pressing on, it's up to you.
Toward the river?
I have named the item Amulet of Dire Flight.
That is great.
Yep.
Oh no. I really couldn't think of a bug themed effect that was better. And this is really gonna backfire.
I'll make a I'll make up an item for you on Roll20.
I'm gonna be out of spell slots for the day, and he's gonna jump off a cliff, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it. Oh, no.
And you don't have the fly spell prepared?
Well, I mean, I can just
Today,
feather
at
fall
least.
him. I always prep that.
Ah, boy. All right, so
So as we're walking toward the river, Ava will look around and say, "Anyone know how to forage?" No, not really.
so she doesn't say that.
Uh, Jokingly, she does.
Ah, all right.
Forage for what?
Never mind, Alice. I think we're good.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, I lost my hammer, so if any of you guys have like a spare weapon, like, I don't know, just to make myself look more intimidating,
I hand him a book.
get that shit away from me. I don't need no book.
It's the
Hey,
most
knowledge is
powerful weapon
power.
there is. Knowledge.
All right? You want to fight me with your knowledge?
Sure, but can I sleep first?
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. I thought so.
I'm pretty wiped out from, killing all those bugs.
Yeah, it takes a lot to break iron, but not a lot to run out of spells.
I mean, I'm not completely out of spells.
Do any of you guys have like a sword or something? Or do I need to carry around my lance?
I have one of these. I have some of these bug javelin things.
Man, just give me my lance. That'll work.
Got that crowbar.
All right. So,
Besides, don't you have claws for that? Like,
Yeah, well, it doesn't make me like before a fight happens, you know? I'm just walking around with my tail lance.
okay. So, as you all kind of gather up your belongings and head back out along the grasslands, eventually you can now start seeing the outskirts of what you guys would know to be the Discern River, or at least a portion of it. Night comes quickly, and you guys know that you still have probably about a half a day to another day's journey along the riverbanks to find whatever it was that Levi was telling you to go to. You guys
How
try.
deep is this river?
It's probably maybe 6 to 8 feet. It's pretty deep.
Cool.
You guesstimate it's maybe about, oh, I think it's about 40, 50 feet wide. And as you kind of look northward as the sun begins to set around you, you can see that the river bends and winds through this rocky crag north and out of sight. As you guys try to find a place to set up camp. Is there anything you guys wanted to do, or just head straight to bed?
um, I'd, I'd like to uh, research the javelins, see if there's anything special about them, I guess, and give them to Kalarian afterwards.
Okay. Make an intelligence check. Okay. Um, you're not entirely sure. You've never seen weapons like these before, but from the best you can tell, it appears that these things are naturally made, as you do not see any kind of constructed materials that would make this javelin up. It's you gather it would be a decent as a normal javelin, I would say. Um, but you're not entirely sure what could have produced it. It's strange, and you're not entirely sure how it would replicate. Trying to see if I
Yeah,
can
give
get
them all but one to clear it.
all but one. Okay. See if I can pull up an image so I can give you guys a better look at these guys. I'll post it in the Discord for you. This is what they look like.
They did have glaives.
This image does, yeah. The ones you guys were fighting did not. So, as rest comes to the group of you for the evening, who wanted to set up watch?
Very can.
I'll take a watch too.
Oh, I was gonna say since everyone else is injured, I can take a watch.
Okay, well, so let's have Perry and Talum. You guys go ahead and make me a perception check for the evening.
Gross.
And nobody's rolling great tonight, are they? Okay. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about before your watch was over?
Don't let Ellis jump off any cliffs.
Is it those wings you gave? Is that why?
I may have set some things in motion today that could lead to bad things happening.
He'll survive, right? No.
But if there's someone there to help him, but if me or Ava aren't around, maybe don't let him jump off the cliff.
I'll try to remember. Try to remember to stop the transforming barbarian.
I'm sure you have magics that can help.
Suppose I got a couple spells laying around.
I feel like you'll hit me really hard if I come clean, so. We'll let that one stew for a while.
Thankfully, your guys' watch is pretty quiet as you lay there within the small hut and just kind of listen to the sounds of the rushing river as it billows past you. The starry sky that you guys have seen the night before is completely grayed out as you know, Perry, that the storm is coming. And as you guys finish your watch for the evening, you can start hearing the faint trickle of rain as it pours down around you. But your watch comes to a close with no issue. We wanted to take the next watch.
I can take the next one.
Okay. Doing it alone or?
Ava can.
All right. So
Oh,
either-
I was gonna take my watch with Talum.
I feel like you missed
Whenever
that
Talum's
opportunity.
taking his
Oh yeah,
watch.
Talon and Perry did theirs first.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't catch that. You were
man,
trying to do it.
you guys, your voices sound too similar. You never tell Talum and Tizio apart.
Well, are you trying to do the watch with Tizio or with Talon?
Who is the wizard?
The wizard
Talon,
is
me.
Talon.
Yeah,
He did it with Perry just now.
he already did his watch. I'll take it with Tizio.
Okay. So
Fine.
Tizio and Ellis, as you guys are kind of woken up by Perry and Talum, There's now a good hard downpouring of rain as the sounds of thunder and lightning are crackling off into the distance. You can still hear the sound of the rushing river just south or just east of your current location where you guys are kind of nestled in between a small plateau of rock and open grassland before you. You can either both make perception checks or one with advantage, up to you.
We can both make one. Probably. I don't know his perception.
Nice. Okay. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about?
So, nice weather we're having.
Do you want some of this jerky, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I'll hand him some jerky.
Is this the jerky that you took off the creatures?
Yeah.
I need you both to make Constitution saving throws.
Yes.
Okay. It's sour. Um, but I mean, it's food.
These guys have some weird tastes. I think they're bad. As I continue eating.
No, it's kind of like rats that ate old like fruit. Like eating a rat after it ate old fruit. Kind of has that tart meat.
You know, I can't say I've had that, but it does remind me of that candy, the Sour Patch Rats. I wonder if that's where
Oh.
it came from.
The coating on those is weird. I don't like the too sour. I'm more of a tart guy. But
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of wait. Can I? I don't think my magical tinkering works for that way, so never mind.
hey, you build stuff, right?
I can build a lot of things.
Why do you build things?
It's just kind of something I've always done. It's pretty cool, you know.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I got one. What's the first thing you ever made?
The
And we're proud of
first-
it.
Oh gosh, I have this listed somewhere.
It was a pocket
Yeah,
watch.
it seems, you know, it kind of seems, you know, dumb now, but it was a pocket watch.
You made a pocket watch?
Yeah, you know, who can't make one of those nowadays, though?
Hey man,
sell
I
them at
can't make a
shops
pocket
everywhere.
watch. All I can do is like break pocket watches, but putting one back together seems real tough.
Really? Just gonna make one real quick, just out of like some of the leaves and stuff with my magical tinkering. I was like, see, like it's really easy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was yeah. We'll go with pocket watch. Um,
Yeah, it was a music
it
box
was a music
actually,
box.
but yeah.
But say we'll flip. It's fine. Can your magical tinkering make it out of leaves? That's pretty crazy. I don't think you can make a pocket watch out of leaves.
'Cause I think it's any small item or something, any tiny non-magical object. So I'm not sure if that counts as an object or not.
I mean, it doesn't create pocket watches. Your magical tinkering gives you these things, these features.
That was the yeah. That was, I guess it would have been fit. It would have fit better with the music box because it
Sure.
can emit sound.
Fair enough. Well, you watch as Tizio starts to just, grab some some objects around the ground, and what he produces is this small object that begins to play a soft like ding 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 over and over again.
The first one you made was with your hands, right?
Oh, what else am I gonna make it with? Magic over here. Kind of point at Talum as he's sleeping inside his tent.
Well, isn't that what you just made that box with?
No, no, no. Magic doesn't work this way. And I start kind of like explaining like little details, like this part does this. This is like naming each part of the music box type thing.
Wait, but how did you make the music box?
So
With
what you saw when he was constructing this thing, like it took him like a few minutes, but as he was fiddling around it,
Oh, okay.
he pulled out a couple of different components from his bag. You see him pull out what like some kind of like spring, and you see him pull out his like a set of small tools, and he literally like engineers within a very quick amount of time this small music box. Like, so you literally watched him pull out a bunch of tiny little components and then somehow put them together, and then when he kind of cranks the key a little bit, that's when it starts to chime this music. It's all mechanical.
Hey, that's pretty cool. If only you could build a bridge like that, eh? That would have been
oh,
handy.
it takes a while. This is a tiny little thing, you know. It's a bridge. That probably takes some time, and I kind of just start thinking in my head like making like all these numbers are kind of just running through my head and like kind of just making up. That'd probably take me a day or so, maybe. I'd probably assume DM. I don't know.
A day to make a bridge? No.
I don't know.
No.
Guessing here.
But you're highly confident in your ability, so yeah, sure, you think it'll take a day.
Well, Mr. Tizio, if you're so good at making stuff, I do want to put in a request. You see, Talon and Ava they've been letting me down recently.
Yeah, they're a bunch of
And
jerks.
I like flying so much. So if you could ever build me like a wingsuit or anything, that's just like, I don't know if you like building things in your free time, but if you ever like bored and you really want to you make something you haven't made before, I think a wingsuit would be pretty awesome.
It'd be pretty awesome.
I
Kind of
don't
been
know how it
dabbling
would
in that
work.
idea. Yeah, kind of been dabbling in that idea. You know, it'll probably take me some time still to figure it all out, but
Hey,
I'm
if you
sure I
ever
can come
need a
up with
test
something.
dummy to jump off a cliff, I got your back now.
My hero.
All right. Good talk, Tizio.
Good talk. As I take as I'm gonna like we each have some of this
Simultaneously
jerky.
take a bite of our bad jerky.
Oh,
Yeah, just
oh
kind of
yeah,
sit there.
I was gonna do like the little cheers type of thing to each other and take a bite.
Sure, yeah, and you kind of finish out the remainder of the watch in quiet chewing. Thankfully, nothing seems to be bothering you, although it is getting really hard to see out too far of a distance as the pouring rain and the darkness is just encroaching on the group of you. Eva and Calarian. I guess if you're taking the last watch there,
Yeah.
okay,
I'll roll my perception with advantage.
you sure will. Nice. Clarion is he's sitting up and he's just kind of leaning, resting on one knee, and just kind of looking off into the distance, and every now and then just kind of looking back over to you. He's like, it's too dark. I can't really see much. Are you seeing anything?
Am I seeing anything?
Um, Thankfully, no. Not at this hour. Even though the hour is extremely late, and you know that the sun should be rising soon, it appears to be very quiet. With this downpouring of rain, it it seems like if anything were to be traveling around at this hour, they would definitely have to be traveling with purpose. And you gather that any kind of wildlife or anything in the area may be hunkered down, just like you are, waiting for the storm to pass.
Nope. Looks like everything's sheltering from the rain.
There's a long pause in Calarian's voice as he kind of lets out a slow steam of smoke from his nostrils, and he turns and just looks at you directly now, kind of ignoring the outside world a bit. And he says, "You know, you're a strange one. And that's saying something coming from the drug addict over there." He kind of nods towards Ellis. "What makes you hang out with these folk anyway?"
Oh well, I just kind of fell in with Ellis after I dropped out of the college. I just playing in taverns and inns, and we bumped into each other, and one thing kind of led to another, and then we ran into you all. It just sort of happened so far.
I guess I'm still a little undecided. I left home thinking I'd make this world a better place, and things seem to keep getting fouled up the more we invest time into it.
Yeah, originally I just wanted to get a lot of money so I could kill some people, but now I have a lot of money and it didn't really help.
There's a slow chuckle from Calarian as he just kind of looks around. It's like, well, money will never solve your problems. My parents, we've been around money for most of our life. It's done nothing but corrupt those around them. You're better off with just enjoying what you have.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really know what to do then.
There's another pause as Calarian thinks for a moment.
You see Ellis's bucket list lying by the fire.
Do you guys have a fire going inside the dome?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it's a great question. You can if you want.
Fastest way to all die.
But yeah, Calarian will kind of scoop up. He'll notice that there's a piece of parchment or something on the ground next to Ellis, and he'll kind of scoop it up and look at it. What does he see?
There are only 3 things on the bucket list right now. The bucket list at the very top has scratched out ride a dragon.
Uh-huh.
The next thing is get a pet griffin.
Uh-huh.
And the thing next on the list is jump off tall cliff.
Okay.
Those are the 3 things on the bucket list.
So Calarian will look at this and he'll read it, and he'll just kind of set it back down, and he'll look back over to you, Eva, and he'll say, "Well, you gotta do what you think is right. Why did you leave home?"
Well, where I grew up, they don't really enjoy anyone who's not strictly 100% human, so yeah, it wasn't a great place to stick around.
Is that so? That's somewhere nearby here. Can't imagine anyone disowning others just because of their race.
Hillsfar. It's a backwater. It's way east of Waterdeep. But my family sent me to Waterdeep, knowing I couldn't stay there. And, well, kind of family. It's complicated. They're human. But sent me to the college, and I made it all of 6 or 7 months before I couldn't stand it anymore. And that's how I got here.
Huh. Clarion doesn't know too much about Hillsfar, so he's just gonna kind of look at you and be stoic about it, but, well, I guess you and me are both outcasts then. I'm not too proud of my past either, but, I guess I can't go home either. But maybe just not for the same reasons.
Would you kill someone?
Might have been better if I did. Let's just say, like I told you, money corrupts. And when you think it's your job to protect those who can't protect themselves, only to find out that the ones who are supposed to be protecting are really the ones causing the pain. It's just not who I thought I'd be.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, actually.
Alma's a shit place anyway. It's nothing but a tourist attraction these days. Anyway, we should wake the others up soon. But eventually you guys all complete a long rest.
There was one more thing on the bucket list. Number 4 is play the Styx in a live performance.
Oh,
The
yeah.
bamboo sticks? Yeah.
Yep, my bamboo sticks.
Alright, yep. Clarion would read it. He's not going to say anything about it, but now he knows. So, with that, you guys will all wake up the next morning. The rain is still pouring as the weather just looks like complete garbage. It is coming down pretty hard and visibility is very low. But you guys do know that you are right next to the Desarin River and that heading northward about a day or so, you don't know what you're looking for, but hopefully you'll find it. And that's where we'll pick up the next session.
No,
Say again?
I said noise.
Yeah. I'd like everybody to take a DM inspiration for conversing with each other so well. It's really awesome, you guys.
Good stuff.
I think I'm the only one that's used it.
Hey, that's fine. If you have it
Yeah.
already, then I mean, sorry that you
Yeah.
can't
I
get
always
a
try to
second
use
one.
it as soon as I can.
Yeah, man. It's really good when you guys interact with each other. But great job on the on-kegs. Even though that was a little one-sided, but still. I mean, you just rolled really bad on that survival check. I don't know, what am I supposed to do on that, you know?
If only I had Perry with me.
Right?
I mean, I didn't roll much better, so like
See
it
what
wouldn't
I rolled
really.
at.
No.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Probably could have gotten better.
Survival 21. There you go. Could have went a whole different route.
I might. Do I have the best survival in the party?
I would assume so.
The funny thing is
I have
my
a +2.
survival is completely city based because I haven't left the city before this point, so I can't RP good natural survival because I have known natural survival instincts.
Well,
It's all city based.
that's how you know that the dice gods are playing accordingly when they make you roll a
Yeah.
nat one on survival outside the city. It's pretty
Yep.
impressive. But yeah. Unless you guys have any questions of me.
No,
I
good stuff.
don't. I'm all
Awesome.
good.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, next week, I guess you guys will be pushing along or so. Don't know how far up the river or what exactly you'll be looking for, but hopefully you can figure out what Levi was telling you to find south of Yartar.
All right. I will see y'all's next week.
Yeah. Thank you all for playing.
Yep.
Peace.
Sorry, I was
Sure,
10
man.
minutes late.
No, it's fine. At least you showed up. Oh, I hope Calarian's okay. Hope everything's alright.
Yeah, I'm sure he's alright.
Yeah.
Well, see ya.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
Thank
Have a
you
good
all
night,
for
guys.
playing.
Guys.